The signs are right in front of you. The question is how much have you been influenced? How much have you been influenced and being convinced that you actually need to trade daily, if not hourly or constantly? You're constantly looking at charts. You're constantly performing analysis when a lot of decisions have already been made, and it's actually the entire pool of traders, all the traders in the world that actually create the real true movement that's going to happen after all of those trades. Those wins and losses are all pooled into this giant ball of liquidity. Okay. And then that's where your real action takes place. The good thing, what I'm going to talk about now is going to show that when you are out on this scale, most of your trades are actually free from a lot of the news events and catalysts and fundamentals and stuff like that. A lot of it's free from that. It could be driven by that, but only just going to help it in this direction as they align with things that are actually happening in some cases economically and politically. So let's talk about this real quick. Basically pulled out all the major Forex US pairs. I could probably do the same thing with some stocks, but we'll do Forex for the sake of this video. A lot of people are not aware. So it's important that you don't have that FOMO kicking in, that fear of missing out, and to not enter this trade early when your trade, regardless of the time frame, you need to have confirmation first. So what I'm suggesting here, okay, not trade advice, not trade signal. Make sure that you read that disclaimer that we put on at the beginning of all of our videos. But Gartley pattern on the monthly field for euro dollar, very, very exciting time. But you're going to have to wait. Okay. It doesn't mean that you pull the trigger now and then you just wait out another couple months, because you would need the current month, which is July. That's the doji. Okay. That's the doji. July has an indecision, meaning anything can happen, right? It's going to be no volume in there, right? Things came to a cross. Not going to be any volume in here. Let me back up a little bit first. Okay. 3-bar reversal, using the 3-bar reversal to get involved in the most powerful, or probably second most powerful harmonic pattern or advanced pattern, the advanced Gartley. Okay, perfect field. Imagine a person entering this when it filled and going through that drawdown for the last couple of weeks on euro dollar. On the month, a couple of weeks in a drawdown, terrible thing to be involved in, just for a trader who understands advanced pattern recognition or who may have spotted this. But bullish engulfing, the setup is so perfect. It's almost scaring me. And this is why you have to get rid of your FOMO, your fear of missing out. You have to be able to not trade for 60 days if that's what it takes. I know that sounded very extreme. Oh my God, 60 days. Yeah, at least in this case right here. I'm going to show you why what you're looking at, you might be able to get involved in the Forex market with 6 positions, and that will be all you need for, could be in the next couple of years. Okay, this is pretty powerful here. Now, I keep stopping. Bullish engulfing candle followed by indecision or doji with no volume. Right, volume with no volume. Right, very little, nothing going on. It came to it. It's decision time. Meaning we need to see what's going to happen with the U.S. economy. Okay, that's what this is stemming from. U.S. economy. A lot of things just happened. That big bill just passed. Things are going to be changing in the U.S. economy. Unleashing American energy dominance, moving back to coal, onshoring, manufacturing, everything is up. The economy is correcting. Jobs are up. Things are looking positive, regardless of what you might think. The facts are the facts. And sometimes you have to leave your political opinions out of things like this. But this is the current. The doji is the month of July. July has to close. We are on the 6th day. So we got 24, 25 days, right? 25 days. Then you got another 31 days in August. Okay. Once August closes, okay, and it looks like that's what this is setting up for. I'll be completely honest with you. It looks like that's what this is setting up for. A very powerful 3-bar reversal. And wherever that candle closes, then and only then do you have confirmation, okay, for, like I said, a trade. Even if you just said you just wanted one position, there's 2 ways you could go about this, okay? And what they look like is this. This is A to B is equal to CD pattern, which comprises the whole entire right side of a Gartley pattern. So A to B is equal to CD. So you could trade the whole entire right side of the Gartley because it's complete, right? D is complete. Price overbought, right? On RSI, overbought. And I know that suggests that it's still moving fast. There's a lot of it's moving fast, 77, but the volume is not there. Okay, does that make sense? How I'll just combine those two things. 77 in terms of speed, momentum. RSI is a momentum indicator, so still 77 is very high on the momentum, which got it there. It's going to take a lot of momentum to get it there. Does that make sense? Okay, then things are going to slow down. It doesn't mean the RSI reading is going to be lower, but the candle, the doji candle, is not a lot of volume as I just showed you. But in terms of projected targets on this, you could look at trading that. That's basically one move. A lot of people are just not aware of that. Let me just show you something real fast. What I mean by that is if A to B was equal to C and D, if A to B is equal to CD is an equal measure move, and A to B is equal to C and D, you're right here. You have completed the pattern. Maybe you could push up a little more. I don't think so. Okay. But the Gartley pattern is filled. That's the 127 extension here that you're seeing. It's a 127 extension from A to B, 127. Perfect. And then you're starting to see this 3-bar reversal action. I was trying to get to the targets, looking at the entire move, okay, using the Fibonacci retracement, okay, from A to D, okay, from A to D up here. It's going to stop right here at the doji, okay, 618, okay. Whenever your entry is, it's if you can get the August candle to close beyond the July doji. That's what needs to happen. If the August candle closes beyond the July doji, then you're looking at 61% of the way back down. Okay. Look how many months that could be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be 6 months. We're on the monthly chart. Each candle will represent a month. So it could be that much or longer. But you're talking about one tremendous, once in a lifetime opportunity. Okay. You would have to put, yourself at risk in case it goes against you, but it won't hurt too much. Hurt a little bit, but not too much. It's still only 1% of your account. But just for a longer trade, that would look like that. That is a lifetime. That is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You just simply do not see it. Those are the facts. You just simply do not see opportunities that look like that. Killer, major, and it's just one thing, and you're good to go. Let me edify on that a little bit more, just to show you. What if I, and we've done this several times. You guys have seen the videos on the 3-bar reversal. Imagine you being the trader and you saw this engulfing. This, of course, this is back in 2010, but still, engulfing candle, doji, indecision, like I said, then a candle power and closing in the opposite bias, and then that's the trader's trade. Or what if we looked over here? What if we looked over here at the top, this engulfing candle, doji, indecision, third candle closing beyond the doji for an entry and a trade that look like that? Okay, so that's where I'm going with this, and this is an opportunity, rare and hard to find like that. But this one, the difference with this one is it's combined with the Gartley pattern. It's using 3-bar reversal to get involved on the Gartley pattern on an extremely, oh my God, there's no telling what's going to happen with that. I just want to be there for it. So continuing to look around, remember, some things are going to change. So you have not as big as I would like here, moving over to dollar CAD, not as big as I would like on the engulfing candle. But then you have your indecision where things came to a halt. Okay, you got your indecision, your doji. You got your doji where things came to a crawl. And again, if we go look at the volume, you're not going to see much going on. Why is that? Okay, small. That's this guy right here. So you had a lot of volume, but then it just came to a crawl. It just came to a stop, basically. And this is where you see the indecision. Nothing but shadows and a very, very small little pancake body. Okay, so what this would suggest, if and when you get through, let July finish and probably stay very slow month. People are going to try to drive this and move it all around. I don't think they're going to be able to. I don't even think there's anything fundamental coming down the pipeline that could change this and leave this right like that. I don't know for sure. But then that's the July candle. If that August candle closes above it, for the sake of what we're doing, we'll just say it's green, even though I'm using red and white candles for my charts. Then that would signify go time. All right. So this is why you can probably just go on vacation from trading for a couple of weeks. And if you do miss out on this, if it does something else, hey, go find something else to do, but I would step away from trading. I'd come back and look at another chart until I come back and look at this setup at the end of August. Once August closes, that's what I would do. If that were the case, remember in the using the 3-bar reversal, you're going to be targeting the 618, 618, and then getting out. You don't really need to do too much more. Looking at getting long right there, whenever that is. We don't know where it's going to be, but it would look something like this. A very, very beautiful, powerful opportunity. And a lot of these are set up like this when the doji is small and right next to it. You don't want crazy wicks on the doji. You want it just like that. Okay, you want that little cute plus side flat one with just higher upper and lower shadow. This is the one you want whenever possible, like the best of the best. These are what you would call your A plus trades. Heard that term before? This is your A plus setup for something that works out like that. Okay, all right. So that's dollar CAD, and same thing I was suggesting before. I did want to kind of go look. Even if we did use this engulfing candle, but see, this doji kind of throws things off right here. This doji, actually more of a shooting star too, but still a shooting star doji. And then the confirmation would have been here. It would have messed up the risk versus reward, but it was a true signal that this thing was going to continue on. Okay, that we were going to roll into this bearish momentum. Okay, a little bit of consolidation after that. Wanted to see if we could find some more. This would be a good one right here. You guys have seen this before, and if you want to know more about this, I do have a couple of videos on the 3-bar reversal. Bullish engulfing candle followed by doji does have the upper and lower shadows. The body, we like the body to be a little flatter than that, but then the confirmation right here at the close for a tremendous killer opportunity that would have looked like that. I'm not gonna for the sake of moving on, I'm not going to run the extension from the high to the low, but the target area would have been somewhere around here. Trader would have been out the trade, and then you see that price action started consolidating, and you don't want to be a part of that, especially not moving for several months. You would have already won. All right, pound dollar, same old story. If and only if you can not trade for a couple of months, if you can just stop and don't let FOMO kill you. What's here? Okay, let's do it like this. And it's because you pretty much got the same thing. So pound, looking for pound to fall. That means you're selling pounds and buying dollars. Strength in dollars is what you're seeing. Okay, dollar strength coming in is what you're seeing. Weakening of every other pairs. More value in the US dollar. Same thing. Nice engulfing candle. We wish that the doji on the 3-bar was better than that, but still a point of indecision if I went and looked at the volume. Overbought too. You got to let that roll through a little bit more. Overbought on RSI. Not overbought 70. Not yet. Okay. Still high in terms of momentum, in terms of speed of transaction, still high. But then if we went to go just confirm by using volume just to see what things look like right now, of course, it's going to look very different at the end of August. But I told you, it came to a crawl, okay? As things appear, there's a decision that needs to be made. So that's what you see here, okay? So, and it's probably going to be a lot piling up and accumulating in there, okay? But same old story. Let me see what it would look like to set up targets for that. It's going to be able to do it in 2 ways. Sorry, I got to jump back for a second because I was suggesting targets for the whole move on Gartley, okay? Or another conservative way would be just the C to D, just that one leg right there. And using just the C to D, I had to go back and clean this up. Probably, I really wanted to talk about that while I was doing the targets for it, but only using the C and D and not the whole A to B is equal to CD. It still would be amazing. Either way you did it, it would look like that too. So still a killer. Still, what is that? 4 to 1 still, 5 to 1, 6 to, that's still almost 6 to 1. Either way it goes, if you get targets off the whole complete A to B is equal to CD pattern, it's even better. If you want to go a little bit more conservative, then it will be, still looking like almost a 6 to 1. The other one was probably like an 8 or 9 to 1. Okay, where were we? We were here. We're on pound dollar. And like I said, and the B goes on. It'd be bullish engulfing candle, doji, indecision, which you see. I wasn't just running my mouth. I went and showed you that it's indecision. Things are slowing down. Another decision has to be made. That decision will likely be made through the rest of July and August. If August comes down, okay, and closes beyond the July doji or however the July candle ends up, okay, the entry for the other way will be confirmed. It will be confirmed. This is a very, very good way to do confirmation. And there's two ways to approach it. The conservative way first. Conservative way only using this low here, okay? Conservative way is saying, okay, we only want the correction off this leg, okay? We only want the correction off this leg, okay? That's the conservative way. How much? 61%, right? So taking the Fibonacci retracement. See, now I done got in my own way. Taking the Fibonacci retracement and come from the low to the high right there. Okay, and that's 61%, meaning grabbing the long short tool, and wherever that is, it's still going to be amazing. It's still going to be way more than like 3 to 1. Okay, so stops right above just in case price action moves against you, and then down to the 618. That one is 265, so almost a 3 to 1 versus. Okay, versus the aggressive long-term target, and that's looking at the whole entire move. So not just that leg, but the whole move, which starts here low to high, right? So low to high, and this will allow you to just get in this thing and stay in here for a long time and not have to jump in and trade every day. As you just, if this works out in your favor, you just absolutely change your entire account. You change your entire trading future if you can get here, if this comes into fruition, if this plays out like I'm suggesting somewhat. Okay, so with stops right above the doji, that is so beautiful, and then a 618. At that time, price action should be exhausted, and then you could see it go another way. It's gonna be several months, maybe even a year from now, right? All right, so that's what that trade would look like. But yeah, again, you do have to let July. You got to get through July. July has to close, hopefully in the doji. You want August to come and close below it for an entry. Okay. That would look like that. If this happens on the monthly chart and you're not trading and you don't have to take another trade or manage this trade for the next year. Let's count the candles. Let's try to see if we can put some math together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that would be 6 months. But remember, we're talking this, so that would be 12 months. So if you could trade for 12 months a year, not even taking another trade. Remember, we had euro dollar and we had pound dollar. Okay, so I actually want to move pound dollar over. I'm not that concerned about the dollar CAD. But if you could get short on euro dollar off that Garley, and if you could short on pound dollar at the top of here, you're going to absolutely destroy the market. But you got to get rid of that FOMO. I mean, that's all I can really tell you. This one is not, so we're moving over. This is Aussie dollar, AUD, USD. Same type of setup, you know. You do have your bullish engulfing candle. You have the same thing, because now this is telling you guys something is changing, right? Whether you want to admit it or not, something is changing. Doji, indecision. Speed still high at 56, about halfway there on RSI. Okay, in terms of momentum, so slow down quite a bit. Not moving as fast. Aussie dollar not moving as fast as pound dollar or euro dollar. Of course not, right? Go take a look at the volume. It's probably not going to be a lot going on there, right? Volume says that there is little to nothing going on as decisions are being made, and you're going to have to ride this out. And that's why these decisions are being made. You do not want a part of this. You do not want any smoke. Okay. You want to go find something else to do. Go play around in the stock market or something like that. But for Forex, get away. Leave it alone. You need to come back at the end of summer. You take a vacation. Take a summer vacation. You'll be back. And when you do get back, what you want to see, especially here on Aussie dollar, is that that July candle stayed like that. Maybe even that the body shrunk down some, made the perfect one with a high upper and lower shadow with like a little pancake body. But then your August candle closing below it. And if the market gives us that, it's really curtains. If we get that, it's really, really over. It'd be something like the close is right here, okay? And there'd be two ways to go about it. I'm only going to talk about the conservative way. I'm not going to do the aggressive way because I don't see enough confirmation on the aggressive way where I would start to look at extensions off this high to this low. But I will go ahead and just do it like this. I will say, grabbing the Fibonacci retracement and coming from that low wick to the high action up here at that doji, and then that 618. Okay, and then just shorting it wherever our entry is. It's going to be somewhere. It's going to be a beautiful trade. That's all you really need to know if this does play out in our favor like this. But stops right above there, not going to hurt you too much. Don't get too aggressive on the target. Just use the 618, which I've shown time and time again that typically that's what happens. And this is almost a 5 to 1. You're not trading anymore. you're going to just go ahead and get in this bad boy, and you're going to stay there for 6-8 months or whatever. You'll start looking at it again and seeing what transpires after that. But if this plays out like that, that's kind of what you're going to be dealing with. I haven't seen too many things more exciting than this. I've been around for a while. I haven't. Let's look at NZD. Let's look at New Zealand. Okay, it's not as clean as I want, but the look is still there. Rinse and repeat. Okay, I know it sounds like we're beating a dead horse, and you probably get the message by now. NZD didn't want to give me that, so let me just open it up one more time. And trust me, this is one of the videos you do want to kind of like pen or bookmark, put somewhere, save, download it, whatever you got to do, or just write down. Just go on your calendar, okay, and just write September 1st. All right, you need to get through August. Write September. Give yourself an alert for September 1st, and then come back and see where we are. Put it on your calendar. NZD. Okay, like I was saying, not. Like I want a better looking engulfing candle than that, but it still is bullish engulfing. This still is a doji. Again, it's going to be the same story. It's like when we talked about AUD/USD. We kind of want it to be a little bit flatter than that, but still I like the upper and lower shadows. We just want that body to suck down in July and become a complete doji looking like a cross, right? Looking like a cross. And then we need August to come and close below it. And if that happens, it's curtains and you're going to be off to the races. Let's talk about what that would look like. All right. It'll be just this whole entire leg. Okay. So like I said, we're not going to get aggressive and start talking about extended targets. We're just going to run it just like that. In other words, NZD USD looks just like AUD. So New Zealand looks just like Aussie. So if we grab our fib and go from the low to the high, which is at the doji, which is right where you want that that point of indecision to be. And we say we're shorting anytime it closes after. We don't really know for sure. You know, the August candle could be a crazy candle. August can be a crazy month, summer month. But then if this does play out in your favor, it is 2.65. So it's getting close to being a 3-to-1. So that's that. And the last one, dollar CHF, same thing, but I actually really like it. I'm not gonna, I no longer feel like I need to keep proving this to you. Okay. I don't need to, as you guys saw me almost get caught up in that. I don't need to keep going back and showing you this is it. All right. So yeah. Do you have a cheat code? You absolutely do. Have you been following this? Okay. If you kind of get it, bearish engulfing candle, doji indecision, trigger bar closing, and then targeting up here. Okay. So and remember, we can do this all day. We can do this all day. But it doesn't get better than seeing that the opportunity actually being here. Forget me all coming back and talking about it or talking about the ones I've traded. Let's talk about when they actually come to you. Are you going to be ready? That's the question. Okay. When you get the big clean engulfing candle, when you get the perfect doji, you need this to kind of stay like that. Hopefully white in the bullish bias, stronger dollar, buying dollars, selling Swiss francs. Oversold too, slowing down. I mean, it's moving very slow. 23 out of 20, still kind of like right where you would kind of like want that to be. And I can tell you again, there's not going to be any volume in here. There's nothing going on. It's at zero. There's no volume in there. Okay, that's what you want. Indecision. That's is good. This is exactly. We don't want to see a whole bunch of volume right there, like they're just buying and selling. No, you don't want to see that. You want it to be like that, where you see that a decision needs to be made, and that decision will only be made once the August candle, only when and if the August candle closes. I'll make it green. The August candle closes above the July doji, and if that happens, you are in for the opportunity of your life. All right. Give this video a thumbs up if you like this information, because this is, I don't think it gets any better than this. You want to show me another video that's has some information like this, I'll be all in for it. Getting long, actually, no. Targets first, okay? Targets and stops always first, okay? So just looking at that whole entire leg, right? Looking at that leg. So the retracement from the top action up here down to the doji, this is almost unreal perfect. And then whenever we get our August close, okay, going into September, and then we got our 618 retracement, and then we get our doji right there, And that's what that looks like. Absolutely almost impossible to get that anywhere. We really need these things to stay out and play out like we are seeing them. And since we're looking at a dollar strength, we went conservative, okay? We used the current right there. We could do it off this guy here. We could do it off the high, all right? So for the sake of it and the grand finale, I will do that. I'll leave the little small conservative guy in there, but I will come to the very top high up here, swing high to swing low. And if this is what we're dealing with, that is unreal, okay? It's going to send us into another atmosphere when it comes to our trading. The last thing I wanted to know, it's going to be tough, and I probably should just leave it alone by now, but I do. I'm curious. If we did have, where we at here? Nope. Okay, I was wondering if we had an advanced pattern back, but we don't though. So leave it at that. Okay, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Why you wouldn't, I would not know unless you're going to come show me who else has done something for the community like this. Okay, share the video if you know someone that this could help. I'm pretty sure that this was packed with tons of information. We didn't have to do too many harmonics, but we were able to kind of like do some trade psychology and help you understand that if you can just not FOMO, not have fear of missing out for how many days do we need? 45, 50 days. If you could not do anything in the Forex market for 60 days, there could be some opportunities that will change your entire trading career. Okay, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I'm still growing this thing out, only 300 subs. I should be at 30,000 or 300,000 subs or 3 million people. Okay, let's get there. Help me get to 500. That'll be the next landmark. Okay, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when amazing videos like this come out. Other than that, you guys be safe, take care of yourself, and I will see you on the next video.